Hello viewers, welcome to the continuation on the vectors that I started with you in the previous videos. In the previous videos, we started learning about vectors and we started with introduction to vectors and we moved on to addition and subtraction of vectors, which we've solved some examples on it, and I hope you understood it and you enjoyed the lesson as well. So this is a continuation to handle another aspect of the vectors with you, okay, and that is multiplying a vector by a scalar. Okay, as you can see from the board, I've written multiplying a vector by a scalar. Okay, so that's what I want to teach you in this video, and you can also see that I have an example on the board that I want to solve with you. But before we proceed and handle the example that I have on the board, I'm going to do a brief explanation on what it means to multiply a vector by a scalar. Okay, then when you gain the understanding, we can proceed and solve the example that I have on the board together. Okay, and I will advise that please do well to watch the previous videos that I've done on the vectors, okay, because the previous videos lays the foundation, okay, the basic knowledge and understanding that you need about the topic vectors. I've done those explanations in the previous videos, okay, so please do all to watch them so that you can easily handle this session as well. And please don't forget to like the videos and also share them after watching. And if you are watching for the first time, please do all to follow the page and also subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. Okay, so now let's go ahead and talk about what I want to teach you in this session, okay, which is multiplying a vector by a scalar. Okay, so I need to define what a scalar is to you. Okay, now when we speak of a scalar, in simple terms, a scalar is any quantity which has only magnitude. Okay, I'm going to repeat it one more time. Okay, so I'm saying that in simple terms, when we speak of a scalar is any quantity which has only magnitude. Okay, unlike the vector where we define a vector as any quantity which has both magnitude and direction. With a scalar, it's any quantity which has only magnitude. Okay, so that's the difference between a vector and a scalar. Okay, so again, a scalar is any quantity which has only magnitude. Okay, examples are, you can talk of volume, okay, time, density. They are all examples of scalars, okay, because it has only magnitude. Okay, and I've explained what magnitude of a vector is to you in the previous videos. Okay, that's why I keep on encouraging you to do or to watch the previous videos. Okay, so now before we go ahead and tackle the example that I have on the board, I'm going to give another explanation to what it means to multiply a vector by a scalar, okay, using some examples. Okay, so assuming I have a vector on the board, let's say I have a vector A equals to, let's say, 1, 3. Okay, so this is a vector, so vector A equals to 1, 3. And assuming that I want to multiply this vector A, okay, by a scalar. Now, someone may be wondering, what do I mean by multiplying the vector by a scalar? Now, when you have any value, okay, and when I say value, I mean any variable or number, okay, it can be positive number or negative number or a fraction, okay, or any alphabet or variable. Multiplying a vector, that variable or number that is multiplying the vector, that is what we refer to as a scalar. Okay, I'm going to repeat it one more time. I'm saying that when you have a vector and you have any value here refers to any variable or number that is multiplying that vector. Okay, so that value or variable or number that is multiplying the vector. That is what we refer to as a scalar. I hope the explanation is clear enough up to this point. Okay, one more time. Having a given vector, okay, having any given vector in the case of this one, and I multiply that vector by any value, which is either an alphabet or a number, okay, then that number or variable that I'm using to multiply the vector, that is what we refer to as a scalar. Okay, so if I write 2a on the board, okay, it means that where this a represents this vector on the board, which is the 1, 3. So the a here represents the vector, which is 1, 3 on the board. Now I have 2 multiplying the a. So this 2, which is multiplying the vector a, that 2 is called a scalar. Okay, I hope the explanation is clear enough up to this point. Okay, let's say I have another vector. Let's say I have s equals to 5, 6. Okay, and I multiply this vector s by a scalar. Okay, let's say I'm multiplying it by a scalar y, okay, a variable. So let's say when I have sy, okay, it means that the y here, the s here is the vector, okay, and I'm multiplying it by a scalar, which is the y. Okay, so the y is multiplying the vector s. Okay, so this y is a scalar. Okay, don't get confused. It's the same as me writing it as y s is the same thing. I have y multiplying s. Okay, it's the same thing. So this y is a scalar which is multiplying the vector s. Okay, because I've defined s here as a vector which is equals to 5, 6. So the y is multiplying the vector s. I hope you understand up to this point. So the y is a scalar, and also the 2 here is a scalar. Okay, so let's go ahead and tackle this one. Okay, so assuming I want to simplify the 2a that I have on the board. Okay, so I'll write the scalar, which is the 2. I'll write my 2 multiplying the vector a. So you input the value of the vector a in there. Okay, the vector a is given to be 1, 3. So I write my 1, 3. Okay, that's how you go about it. I hope you understand. Okay, now for you to simplify this one, I'm going to show you how to simplify, how you use the scalar to multiply the vector. Okay, so all that you need to do is that the scalar 2 here will multiply the value at the top here and also multiply the value at the down here. Okay, so the scalar will multiply the value at the top and also multiply the value at the down, and that is all. That's all that you need to do. Okay, it multiplies the components of the vector. Okay, so the 2 multiply the 1 and the 2 also multiply the 3, and we'll get our answer for simplifying 2a. Okay, which means that the 2 is the scalar and the a is a vector. Okay, and that's how you conduct a multiplication of a vector by a scalar. I hope you understand up to this point. So let's go ahead. So the 2 multiply the 1, which will give me 2, and the 2 multiply the 3, which will give me 6. Okay, so this is my answer for simplifying this. So I'm getting 2, 6 as the answer. Okay, for simplifying 2a. Okay, where 2 is the scalar multiplying the vector a. I hope the explanation is clear enough up to this point. Okay, so with the same understanding, we are going to do this one also. Okay, I have the vector s on the board given to be 5, 6, and I have a scalar y multiplying the vector s. Don't forget the explanation that I gave you, okay, about a scalar. A scalar is any variable or any number that is multiplying a vector. Okay, so I have vector s here, which is given to be 5, 6, and I have y multiplying the vector s. So this y is the scalar. Okay, so let's go ahead and simplify this one. So I'll bring my equal sign and I'll repeat my y, which is the scalar, multiplying the vector s. The value of the vector s has been given, which is 5, 6. So I'll write my 5, 6 there. Okay, I hope you understand and you agree with me up to this point. Okay, so now we follow the same process. The y here will multiply the value at the top, and it will also multiply the value at the down. Okay, that's how you conduct the multiplication. It multiplies the components of the vector. So the y will multiply the 5 here, and the y will multiply the 6 down here. Then you write your answer. Okay, so let's go ahead. So I'll have y times 5, it will give me 5y, and y times 6, it will give me 6y. Okay, so this is my answer for simplifying the question on the board. Okay, I hope the explanation is clear enough up to this point. Okay, nothing difficult about it, and I hope you understand. I'm going to take another example and I'm going to use it to explain it to you. Okay, so I'm going to clean this from the board. Okay, so let me clean this one and let me take another example and use it to explain it to you. Okay, assuming I have, let's say I have the vector b equals to -3, 4, and I'm being asked to find, let's say 4b. Okay, I'm being asked to find 4b. So I have the vector b equals to -3, 4, and I'm being asked to find 4b. Okay, so the 4 is multiplying the vector b. Okay, so the 4 here is a scalar. Don't forget, a scalar is any number or variable that is multiplying a vector. So the 4 here is the scalar multiplying the vector b. Okay, I hope you understand. So let's go ahead. So when I take my 4b to simplify, I'll write my 4, then I'll bring my brackets, then I'll put the value of the vector b there. Okay, so the vector b is given to be -3, 4. Okay, I hope you understand and you agree up to this point. Okay, so let's go ahead and simplify further. Okay, I've explained to you that the 4 will multiply the components. Okay, so the 4 will multiply the top number, and the 4 will also multiply the down number. Okay, just as we did. Okay, so let's follow. Okay, so now the 4 multiply the -3, which will give you -12, and the 4 will multiply the 4 here, which will give you 16. Okay, and that is the answer. So our 4b is given to be -12, 16. Okay, and that is the final answer. Okay, I hope you will understand up to this point. Okay, so I'm going to clean this from the board. Okay, so that we can go ahead and solve the example 1 that I have on the board. I hope you understand, so we can proceed and tackle the example 1 that I have on the board. Okay, so I'm going to clean this so that we can go ahead and tackle the example 1 that I have on the board. Okay, so let's read the question together. So example 1, it says that if a equals to 3, 1, b equals to 4 minus 5, and c equals to -2 minus 6, it says that we should find a minus 2b plus c, and 2 multiplying a plus b. Okay, so that's the question, and it's very simple. I'm going to do it with you. Okay, it says that if the vector a is given to be 3, 1, and the vector b is given to be 4 minus 5, and the vector c is given to be -2 minus 6, it says we should find a minus 2b plus c, and we have to find 2 multiplying a plus b. Okay, so we are going to apply what we just learned, okay, which is the multiplication of a vector by a scalar to solve this. Okay, and it's very simple. Okay, so just follow as I explain and solve it with you. Okay, so let's start with the Okay, so I'm going to write down my solution. Okay, and the I have that we should find a minus 2b plus c. Okay, so I'm going to bring my equal sign. Okay, so wherever you see a in this, you put the value of a there. Wherever you see b in this, you put the value of b there. And wherever you see c in this, you put the value of c there. As simple as that. Okay, you can see that in this question, we have a scalar multiplying the vector b. Okay, I have informed you, I have made you aware that a scalar is any variable or number multiplying a vector. Okay, so you can see that I have minus 2b here, meaning that the minus 2 is a scalar multiplying the vector b. Okay, so we are going to do that. Okay, so let's input our values. Okay, so I'm seeing a here, and a is given to be 3, 1. So I'll write my 3, 1 down. Okay, so let me clean this and write it well so that you see it clearly. So my a is 3, 1. Then you bring your minus 2 here. So your minus 2 multiplying the vector b. The vector b is 4 minus 5. So 4 minus 5. Then you bring your plus. Then you have the vector c. Okay, is given to be minus 2 minus 6. I hope you understand and you agree with me up to this point. All that we did is to input the values of the vectors given. Okay, so now let's go ahead and simplify further. There's no need to rush it. Okay, you need to take your time. What we are going to do first is that we are going to simplify the scalars that are inside multiplying the vector. Okay, so we'll handle that one first before we proceed. Okay, so let's go ahead. So I'm going to repeat this 3, 1 which is here. Okay, the 3, 1 which is here. Now I'll repeat my minus which is here. Okay, then the 2 will multiply the vector which is the 4 minus 5. Okay, I hope you agree with me. So this is the minus here, I've repeated it, and these 2 will multiply the values in this vector as we've done. Now someone may be wondering, okay, I know this confused some students. Okay, so I want to clarify it so that you can easily handle it. Someone may be wondering, why not use the minus 2 to multiply the values, which is the vector 4 minus 5. You can do so, okay, but there's a way you need to handle it, and I'm going to show you that. Okay, but for now, let's go through what I'm showing you, then afterwards I'll show you that approach also. Because if you are using the minus 2 to multiply the vector, then of course you cannot bring minus here. Here is supposed to now become positive. Okay, because you've used the minus to multiply the vector, so you cannot repeat minus here. So you have to make here positive. That's the difference. But if you choose to use only the 2 to multiply the vector, then you need to maintain the minus here. That's the difference. I hope you understand. I'm going to go over one more time. Okay, I'm saying that I said that you are going to maintain our minus here, and then we are going to use our 2 to multiply the vector. But someone might be asking or wondering, why are we not using the minus 2 to multiply the vector and we are using only 2? And I'm saying that you can do that. You can use the minus 2 to multiply the vector. But what you need to take note is that when you use the minus 2 to multiply the vector, you cannot repeat a minus here again. You have to make this place plus, because you've used the minus 2 to multiply the vector. Okay, so here is supposed to be plus, not minus again. But if you choose to use only the 2 to multiply the vector, then you are supposed to repeat the minus sign which is here. That's the difference. I hope it's clear now. So let's go ahead and solve it, because I have chosen to maintain the minus here, and I'll use the 2 to multiply the vector. Okay, so 2 times 4 is going to give me 8, and 2 times minus 5 is going to give me minus 10, and I hope you agree with me up to this point. Then I'll repeat my plus, the minus 2 minus 6 which is here. Okay, I hope you understand up to this point. Okay, so let's go ahead and simplify further as we did with the addition and subtraction of vectors. We are going to apply the same principle. We are going to do the first 2, the answer we get, we join it with the last one. Okay, no need to rush it. You can do the 3 of them together, okay, but in order for you not to get confused, that's why I prefer to do the first 2, then the answer that I get, I join it with the last one so that you don't get confused. Okay, so let's do exactly that. So I'm going to handle the first 2. You know how we subtract and add vectors. I've taught you in the previous videos. Okay, I said that you add corresponding components and you subtract corresponding components. Okay, that's how we deal with addition and subtraction of vectors. Okay, and I've already done a video on that, so just search for that video so that you can easily get a good understanding. Okay, but it's not difficult, just follow and I'm sure you understand. You just subtract the corresponding components because we have subtraction here, so it's going to be 3 minus 8. 3 minus 8 gives you minus 5, and I hope you agree with me. And we have 1 minus minus 10. Don't forget, when two negative meet, it becomes positive. Okay, so let me do it here so that you see. 1 minus minus 10, it becomes 1 plus 10, which gives 11. I hope you understand. So that's how we are going to handle it. Okay, so let me clean this from here and let's continue. So I have 1 minus minus 10, and that is going to give me 11. Okay, then you bring the bracket. Then that's what we've gotten for simplifying these two. So let's join this one. So I'll bring my plus, then I'll repeat my minus 2 minus 6. Okay, I hope you understand and you agree with me up to this point. Okay, let's continue and simplify further. Okay, so we are adding these two vectors. So minus 5 plus minus 2, and that is going to give me minus 7. I hope you agree with me. So we are going to have minus 7. Okay, I've taught you this, okay, in some videos, how to handle integers, addition and subtraction of integers. So that's what we are applying here. Okay, you have minus 5 plus minus 2, which will give you minus 7. Okay, and I have 11 plus minus 6, which will give you 5. Okay, I hope you agree with me. So you get your 5 here, then you bring your brackets. Okay, so this is the answer for simplifying a minus 2b plus c. Okay, so a minus 2b plus c equals to minus 7, 5, and that is our final answer. I hope the explanation is clear enough and you understood it as well. Okay, so this is the process you need to go through. Okay, but we need to do the II also. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the II, but you can see that my space is covered. The space there is not enough, so I have to clean this so that we can do the II. Okay, so take note of this. This is the I, and that's the answer, minus 75. Okay, that's we simplifying or finding a minus 2b plus c. The answer is minus 75. So let's do the II, and I'm going to clean the board, okay, so that we can have enough space to continue. Okay, so let me clean this one and let's continue with the II. So the II, we are being asked to find 2 multiplying a plus b. Okay, so now you can see that the 2 is a scalar which is multiplying the addition of the vector a and b. Okay, so this 2 is a scalar multiplying the addition of the vector a and b. A plus b, they are adding. Okay, so what we are going to do is that we are going to handle the bracket first. Okay, we are going to input our values, then also we will focus on the bracket first, then the value that we get, then we'll use the scalar, which is the 2 here, to multiply that value. That's what we are going to do. Very simple. Okay, so let's start by inputting our values. Okay, so I'll repeat my 2, which is here. Okay, then I'll bring a bigger bracket. Okay, because I have the vector a and b adding here. Okay, and the 2 is multiplying this, so there's the need that I bring a bigger bracket so that I can do the addition of the a and b. Okay, so I'm seeing a here, so I'll bring my value of a, which is 3, 1. Okay, so the vector a is 3, 1. Then bring your plus, the plus here, plus the b. The b is given to be 4 minus 5. Okay, then you close your bracket. I hope you understand. All that we did is to input the values given. Okay, and we are going to handle what is in the bracket first. Okay, so let's do exactly that. So I'm going to repeat my 2 here. Okay, then let's simplify what is in this bracket, which is the 3, 1 plus 4 minus 5. We are adding these two vectors. And don't forget, we add corresponding components. Okay, so we add the top ones and we add the down ones. When we are subtracting 2, is the same process. We subtract the top ones and we subtract the down ones. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So it's going to be 3 plus 4, which should give me 7. And I hope you agree with me. And here we have 1 plus minus 5, which should give me minus 4. Okay, so we have 7 minus 4 for simplifying what is in the bracket. And the 2, which is the scalar, is going to multiply this one. Okay, so let's proceed further. So when 2 multiplies this one, I've explained to you that the 2 will multiply the top value and also multiply the down value. That is how we conduct a multiplication of a scalar by a vector. Okay, it multiplies the components of the vector. So the 2 multiply the 7 and also multiply the minus 4. So 2 times 7, it gives 14. Okay, so I'm going to have 14. And 2 times minus 4, it gives minus 8. Okay, and this becomes our final answer. So our 2 multiplying a plus b. Okay, the answer is 14 minus 8. That's the final answer. Okay, I hope the explanation is clear enough and you understood it as well. Okay, so this is how to handle a multiplication of a vector by a scalar. Okay, and where we've applied it to solve some questions on addition and subtraction of vectors. I hope the explanation was clear enough and you understood and enjoyed the lesson as well. Please don't forget to like the video and also share the video. And if you are watching for the first time, please do all to follow the page and also subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll see you again in another video whilst we solve more examples on this. Bye bye.